You ever try to relax and your brain's like, nope, let's replay that embarrassing thing you did 3 years ago? Yeah, same. Sometimes it feels like your mind's running a full-blown TV show. 50 episodes, no pause button, and you didn't even subscribe to the channel. You're trying to sleep, your body's tired, but your thoughts are sprinting like it's the Olympics. Did I lock the door? What if I mess up that meeting tomorrow? Should I text back or just disappear forever? It's called overthinking. And the worst part, the more you try to turn it off, the louder it gets. Like your brain knows you want peace, and it's like, haha, no. But here's the truth. This isn't just about being too anxious or too emotional. There's actually a reason your brain does this. In this video, we're going to break it all down. What overthinking really is, how it messes with your brain, your body, your relationships, and most importantly, how to finally quiet the noise. And real quick, if you've ever felt stuck in your own head, go ahead and hit that like button. And drop a comment below telling me your go-to overthinking thought, the one your brain just loves to bring back. But first, we need to understand exactly what's going on up there. What is overthinking? Overthinking isn't just thinking a lot, it's thinking too much about the wrong things over and over without actually getting anywhere. It's like mental treadmill mode. You're running, but you're not moving. It feels productive, but it just drains you. There's a big difference between healthy reflection and overthinking. Reflecting is when you think about something to learn or plan. It has a purpose, an end. Overthinking is when your mind keeps looping. You replay conversations, imagine worst-case scenarios, obsess over what ifs that may never happen, and the more you think, the worse you feel. Here's where science comes in. When you're overthinking, two key parts of your brain are heavily involved: the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala handles fear and emotion. It's like your internal alarm system. The prefrontal cortex helps with logic and decision making. But under stress, these parts don't work well together. The amygdala screams danger, even when there isn't any, and your thinking brain either freezes or spirals. And this loop can show up in everyday stuff. You try to send a simple text and spend 20 minutes rewriting it. You avoid making a decision because what if it's the wrong one? You stay up at night over-analyzing things that already happened. It's exhausting. And worse, it often feels like something you should be able to control. But the truth is, your brain isn't trying to annoy you. It's trying to protect you. It just doesn't always do it in the smartest way. And when it goes into overthinking mode, that's when we start getting stuck in loops we can't break on our own. So why does your brain really do this? Let's take a look at what's happening under the surface and why it's so hard to just turn it off. Why you can't just turn it off? Alright, so your brain keeps looping the same thoughts. You know it. You feel it. And maybe you've told yourself, okay, that's enough. I need to stop thinking about this. But guess what? Your brain doesn't listen. That's because overthinking works like a loop, and it's surprisingly good at keeping itself going. It usually starts with a trigger, a conversation, a decision, something uncertain. Your brain senses discomfort and wants to fix it, so it starts digging and digging and digging. The problem is, it's not digging for answers, it's digging for certainty. And when the situation has no clear answer, the loop stays open. Your brain hates open loops. It wants closure, so it keeps tossing the same thoughts back into your head, hoping something new will come up, but nothing new comes. Just the same worries in different outfits. Meanwhile, your stress builds, your energy drops, and your focus disappears. You end up mentally exhausted from a conversation that only happened inside your head. And here's where it gets tricky. There's this idea called the white bear theory, or the polar bear problem. A psychologist named Daniel Wegner asked people to not think about a white bear, and guess what? That's all they could think about. The more they tried to push the thought away, the more it popped back in. That's exactly what happens with overthinking. The harder you try to force a thought out of your mind, the stronger it bounces back. This shows why telling yourself to just stop thinking about it usually doesn't work. Suppression backfires. Your brain doesn't like being told what not to focus on. It actually makes that thought feel more important. So instead of letting it go, you end up giving it more power. Now combine that with your brain's built-in survival system. Back in the day, spotting danger kept us alive. Was that a lion in the bushes? Your brain reacts the same way today, just with emotional threats instead of physical ones. Did I mess up? Are they mad at me? What if I fail? And when your mind senses danger, real or not, it stays on high alert. So between trying to push thoughts away, which makes them louder, and your brain interpreting uncertainty as danger, you end up stuck in a loop. And the more that loop repeats, the harder it is to break. So if breaking the loop isn't as simple as just stop thinking about it, what is happening in your brain and body when you're stuck in that cycle? Let's talk about what really goes on when your brain sounds the alarm. The hidden impacts of overthinking. Imagine this. Your brain picks up a tiny worry, like, what if I messed up that email? And suddenly it acts like you're being chased by a bear. Heart races, muscles tense, thoughts spiral. No real danger, but your body doesn't know that. It only knows the alarm went off. When that happens, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, your stress response dream team. These hormones were super useful when humans needed to run from predators, but today, they get released during emails, awkward silences, or texts that say, we need to talk. And here's the wild part. According to research published in Nature Reviews Neuroscience, chronic stress literally reshapes your brain. The amygdala, the fear center, what becomes more active, while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logical thinking, can weaken over time. In simple terms, your brain gets better at freaking out and worse at calming down. And the longer you stay in this state, the more your body pays the price. Overthinking affects your immune system, your digestion, even your sleep cycles. You might feel constantly wired but also drained. You wake up tired. You overreact to small things. You forget what you were saying mid-sentence. It's not just stress, it's your brain and body stuck in survival mode even when there's no real threat. Then come the emotional side effects: anxiety, irritability, fear of making decisions. You replay conversations, imagine worst-case scenarios, and second-guess everything, especially in relationships. Overthinking builds stories that feel real even if they aren't. It convinces you there's a problem, even if no one else sees one. That's how powerful the brain can be. But here's the best part. If your brain can learn to overreact, it can also learn to relax. You're not broken, you're just stuck in a pattern. And with the right tools, you can start breaking that pattern today. So what actually helps? Let's talk about how that. Training your brain to let go. Here's the truth. Your brain is trainable. If it learned how to overthink, it can also learn how to chill. It's not about shutting down your thoughts. It's about changing your relationship with them. And no, you don't need to move to the mountains or become a meditation expert to make that happen. One powerful tool: mindfulness. Sounds fancy, but it's just the practice of paying attention on purpose to the present moment. You sit, you breathe, and you notice what's going on in your mind without trying to fix or fight it. You might think, wow, my brain is really spiraling right now. That's it. You notice it, and you come back to your breath. Over time, this simple habit helps your brain stop reacting to every single worry. Another tool that works wonders is cognitive behavioral therapy. At its core, CBT is about challenging your thoughts instead of just believing everything your brain says. So if your mind goes, I'm gonna fail, you stop and ask, is that actually true? Or am I just scared? This pause gives you power. You're not ignoring the thought, you're questioning it, reframing it, and breaking the loop. And when things get intense in the moment, you can use quick grounding techniques. Take 5 deep breaths, feel your feet on the floor. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. It sounds simple, and it is, but it pulls you out of your head and back into your body. The goal isn't to stop thinking. That's impossible. The goal is to stop believing every thought and reacting like it's the end of the world. And the more you practice this, even just a little each day, the more your brain learns. Hey, maybe we don't need to freak out right now. And once your brain starts to let go a little, everything else starts to feel different too. So what does life actually look like when you're no longer stuck in overthinking mode? Let's wrap it all up and talk about that. From chaos to clarity. Here's the thing. Overthinking doesn't make you broken. It means you have a powerful mind that's just working overtime. And that's okay. You don't need to shut your thoughts off. You just need to learn how to stop letting them run the show. Once you start practicing that shift, noticing your thoughts, challenging them, grounding yourself, things get lighter. You react less. You breathe deeper. You sleep better. Your brain starts to realize, oh, we're safe. And that changes everything. Life won't magically become perfect. You'll still have stress, weird moments, tough days, but instead of spiraling, you'll have tools. Instead of drowning in thoughts, you'll know how to pause, breathe, and come back to the present. That's not some distant goal. That's something you can start today. So try one thing, just one. Maybe it's journaling tonight. Maybe it's 5 deep breaths tomorrow morning. Maybe it's noticing a negative thought and saying, you're not the boss of me. Small steps matter. And if you stay consistent, those small steps become your new way of living. If this video helped you, hit that like button, share it with someone who overthinks too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We're building a space for calm minds and real conversations, and you're invited.